welcome to Body of Wisdom Yoga, a recipe video. Body of Wisdom Yoga is an online yoga platform for active older adults. All of our teachers are 55 years of age and older, and we understand what it's like to be in an older body. In today's recipe video, I will be showing you how to make roasted sweet potatoes with roasted chickpeas with a really interesting mix of spices. We're going to top this with a crumble of pecans, feta, date, lemon, and arugula. And the final thing is a drizzle of a maple syrup tahini. Let's get started. I have set the oven to 425 degrees. We're going to start just by cutting these sweet potatoes in half. And these are organic sweet potatoes, so I have not taken the skins off. I've just scrubbed them. And with sweet potatoes, you can eat the whole thing. You don't have to not eat the skin. I've cut the sweet potatoes in half, drizzled some olive oil on the bottom of the roasting sheet, and I'm going to put these in the oven for 35 minutes. We'll check them along the way. Let's start by getting the crumble ready. First thing I'm going to do is get a small little frying pan out to roast the pecans. I'm going to turn the element on to low and put the pan on to heat up. That'll just take a couple of minutes. While that's happening, let's start to make the drizzle. To make the drizzle, we'll take 2 tablespoons of tahini, add in 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. I'll take my whisk and whisk this up. And you can see it's a little bit thick, so we're going to add some water to this. Depending on how thick your tahini is, will depend on how much water you add. I'm just going to start with about a teaspoon, and right away I can tell that probably isn't enough. Well, maybe it is. No, it's not. Well, a little thinner. It's not as thin as I would like it. So we just want it to be able to drizzle this on top. There, that's a better consistency. You can see that that would be nice to drizzle that. All right, we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Whisk this up again, and then I'm going to put it to the side. My pan has been heating now, so I'll add the pecans. You want to keep an eye on the pecans because there's always a tendency to burn nuts when you're roasting them. So you just want to keep an eye and shake them around a little bit. You can tell when they're done, you'll start to smell them and they'll get a little bit brown. We'll let those cool and then chop them up. Oh yeah, right away they're turning dark, so I'm going to turn off the heat. And this will keep cooking. And I'm going to remove the pan. The sweet potatoes have been in the oven for 8 minutes. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to move them over and add the chickpeas to the tray. And we'll roast the chickpeas for 8 minutes, take them out, add some olive oil and the spices, and then put them back in. Now I will make the topping. Into a bowl, I'll add the feta. It's 1 ounce of feta or 2 tablespoons. This is sheep's milk feta, and you can use whatever you want. Kite Hill is a great vegan brand of cheeses. And if you like regular cheese, you could just use regular cheese, regular feta. I'm going to chop up 2 dates. You can use 2 or 3. Let's go for 3. And be sure to take out the pit. All right, this is going into the bowl. It's pretty sticky. Yum. Going to chop up the arugula. And just a handful of arugula. If you want more, you could put more, and if you want less, put less. So I'm going to take all of this and put it on my cutting board. and cut it all up together. And I'll put it back in the bowl for when we're ready to use it. The crumble is just about made. I need to add the pecans. The pecans have been toasted and cooled, and now I'll chop them up. All right, let's add this to the crumble. To finish off the crumble, I'm taking my lemon that I've washed and putting some zest into the bowl. And then some salt and pepper. And we'll give this a mix. The timer just went off, so I'm going to take the chickpeas out of the oven. Add them to the bowl with some olive oil and spices. Sweet potatoes have a nice sizzle to them. Into the bowl with the partially roasted chickpeas, I'll add a little bit of olive oil. Not too much. And the spices. So we have a half a teaspoon of sumac, which is a really deep, earthy seasoning. I love it. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of paprika. And half a teaspoon of salt. Just going to add this in. Mix these up. If you don't have sumac, you don't have to use it. I was thinking chili powder would be really good in here. I also have this sort of Tex-Mex seasoning that I thought would be really good in here. Or if you wanted to go Middle Eastern, cumin. Okay, those are going back in the oven for another 8 minutes. The chickpeas have been roasting now for about 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to look and take them out. They smell really good. I'll put them into a bowl and then put the sweet potatoes back in the oven. And back into the oven go the sweet potatoes. I think I'm going to turn them over now. Turning them over and adding a little bit of salt and pepper. So I'm putting the sweet potatoes back in the oven for 5 minutes while I set up my plates and get everything ready to eat. All right, I think it's that time. Let's take the sweet potatoes out of the oven. I'm going to put them on the plate and then mush them down a little bit. Ooh, those look beautiful. I'm going to take my fork and just mush them down. So the first thing I'll put on are the chickpeas. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get hungry. And we'll add the topping. And the last part is the drizzle. So the sweet potatoes sweet, we're also adding in maple syrup, balsamic vinegar, tahini, which really pairs nicely, I think, with the sumac in the chickpeas. And there we have it. Isn't that delicious looking? So when I serve this up, this could be a side dish if you have something else you're serving, or for me, this would just be my main meal. Well, not the whole thing, but I would eat 2 of them. All right, so let's go in and see how this tastes. Right away, the drizzle on top is so good. All right, well, I'm gonna go devour some of this. Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button below if you're on YouTube. If you're on our platform, thank you for checking us out. Bon appetit.